the miners to put their gold through the gold centers, unless if the bigger miners who have processing plants. But most of the miners who are the majority who don't have processing plants, it will make a lot of sense for them to push their gold through the gold centers.
That's interesting, because a lot of miners were being shortchanged, because when they're taking their ore to the millers, the miller would benefit from.
Absolutely, because the general practice is the free gold is recovered and the residue is left behind for the miller. But the disadvantage of that system is that not sufficient money accrues to the miner to enable him or her to expand and sustain and expand production. Now, with this model, we are looking at an over 80% recovery, and that money flows to the miner, which enables him or her to sustain and expand production. That's the first thing. But also, secondly, there is capacitation of the miners by the gold center. Firstly, in terms of the equipment, and also secondly, in terms of the working capital. So that enables the miner to expand his or her operations. There will also facilitation in terms of the transportation of the ores to the gold center. So it's a very nice model. We will also then have some specialists at the gold center, like a specialist miner, a miner. There will be a metallurgist, there will be a geotechnician, there will be a person who supervise to ensure that the areas covered by the gold center, do operate according to the requisite standards. And we are targeting, depending on the geology of the various areas targeted, but we are looking at a radius of plus minus 30 kilometers to be covered by the gold centers, where then you find that these services are then offered in terms of providing the equipment, providing the working capital, and providing the specialist skills, and then the gold being transported. So that setup will enable, one, an increase in gold production, and secondly, that gold production to be channeled through the formal channel, the formal market, which is Fidelity.
All right, and the black market, how does it really get curbed? Are the pricing models also going to be favorable to ensure that people don't defer to?
Yes. The pricing model will be such that the miner will have to make money. That will be addressed.
It's a very exciting idea. It's a very exciting initiative. But we, as I highlighted again in the briefing, we just come out from. It's a war zone out there in the minefields, where we have different groups alleged to go out with your weapons, and they're taking gold from small scale miners who might not have proper security in place. With these gold centers, how secure are they? Because we've also had cases where these groups that are going around, literally just telling people to give them the ore they have mined. They've also penetrated even into spaces where big mining companies are operating. So how secure are these gold centers from these groups? I know you highlighted in there that you're also going to be moving into these hotspots, but as you set them up now, what are you doing to ensure that they are secure enough?
Okay. Firstly, in terms of the gold centers themselves, they will be designed in a manner to ensure that there is maximum security. That's incorporated in the design. But secondly, like I indicated, there are some indicative hotspots which have features like you have just said. Government is moving in to ensure that issues surrounding each of the hotspots are addressed. Like I indicated in the briefing there, today we had the provincial minister of March Central visiting one or two of the alleged hotspots, together with an interministerial or intergovernmental team from the Ministry of Mines, from the security sectors. And on each of the sites, they will come up with the requisite solutions to ensure that mining operates in a very safe manner. So that exercise will be done, or is being done throughout the whole country.
You've spoken of how the miner will benefit. You've spoken of the optimistic look to say they'll actually expand their production and all these benefits that are accruing to the miner. But what about the environment? There's also been issues to say, hey, there's gold panning happening, people are being empowered, yes, but the environment is deteriorating at a very fast pace. As you establish these gold centers, are you also thinking as to how you can use the same platforms to also educate miners to say, let's preserve our environment?
Okay. Two issues. Firstly, like I indicated, that each of the gold centers will have a she specialist. Okay, we will ensure that all the gold which is delivered, all the ores which are delivered at the gold centers, are extracted in an environmental friendly manner, in a manner which complies with the environmental requirements, and also in a safe way in terms of the mining methods. That's the first thing. But over and above the gold centers, at the mining conference about 2 weeks ago in Victoria Falls, I indicated that there are discussions taking place with the chamber and also with the Zimbabwe Miners Federation, where a comprehensive, long-lasting environmental intervention will have to be made. We cannot continue to allow mining of any nature, big, small, to undermine the environment. That's not acceptable, and measures will be announced very soon. But the consultation is taking place with the chamber and the Zimbabwe Miners Federation.
All right. Referring back to what Professor Ntuli Ngube highlighted, I know you said you don't have the stats offhand, but he highlighted that of all the minerals projections in the first quarter, only chrome performed a bit well. Gold production, in terms of targets that you wanted to achieve, was not at that level. But overall, getting into the second half of the year now, what's your projection over projection?
Well, look, gold, chrome performed very well. Platinum was very steady, more or less within the performance last year. But more importantly, the projections for the remainder of the year, we project that we will be within the targets which we set ourselves at the beginning of the year.
KPC is around the corner. Zimbabwe's diamonds have been a topical issue all over the world. We understand right now you are almost close to starting to sell after having negotiated and had dialogue with different players on the international market. What are some of the highlights that people involved in the diamond mining industry can look forward to at KPC from your front to say what are you going to present, and also the issue of selling the diamonds? How close are we now to starting to sell the diamonds?
Well, two issues really. For the KPC, Zimbabwe is not really a matter for discussion per se. So it's really the general normal discussions, and we are fully prepared in terms of the KPC discussions, and we really look forward to participating in the discussion. But Zimbabwe is not a topic for discussion. In terms of the selling, an announcement will be made soon in terms of a new formula for selling our diamonds.
And value addition, getting into the second quarter, what is your ministry doing to ensure that all the minerals, because there's always been talk to say we are exporting them raw, what are we doing now to ensure that we add value to export something that is not in all format but also across the board, not only for diamonds, gold, but for everything?
Well, we have come up with a number of policy pronouncements in terms of value addition for each mineral. I mean, for platinum, we have indicated the steps towards the establishment of a base and precious metal refinery. For diamonds, you may have seen the adverts in terms of coming up with a diamond value management center. We've also seen that in terms of coming up with a gemology center. In terms of the chrome, again the pronouncement towards stainless steel. In terms of the graphite, His Excellency visited the graphite value addition center, and government is banning the sale of unprocessed granite. Sorry, I said granite. So each of the minerals is a very clear value addition process. So government is serious about value addition.
Thank you so much, Winston, for your time.
Thank you. Gotcha.